to my channel. Um, I am so sorry, you guys. I know I left y'all hanging for so long. I probably should be welcoming myself back to this channel too, because I haven't made a video in over a year and I owe y'all an explanation. But first and foremost, if you are new to my channel, welcome. It's great to have you. You'll kind of be caught up with, some of my longtime subscribers with this video on what's been going on, where have I been, all that other stuff. But to get started and kind of fill y'all in, the last video I did was, I believe, August of 2020, August or July, somewhere around there. And after that, I ended up having to study for an upcoming exam, which I passed, and your girl advanced to the next pay grade. I had to study to get my wings, and then I ended up getting sent on an underway for my non-military people. It's kind of like a deployment for the Navy, a short deployment for the Navy. Came back, ended up getting engaged, started planning a wedding, got sent on another mini underway, and then ended up moving to a whole nother state. And it's just been one thing right after the next. So getting into the video, this is going to be a Q&A video, basically a catching up with me or getting to know me Q&A. There are a lot of questions on here that I'll answer, and it'll kind of explain, kind of what's been going on. There's some little fun questions in here that my friends decided to throw in to be funny, but I'll also, answer those, and hopefully y'all will be caught up with everything. If you have any other extra questions, you can definitely put them down in the comment section. I'll answer whatever questions, as long as y'all ain't too crazy in the comment section. And I'll definitely, let y'all know what's up. So let's get into the video. Okay, so the first question is, what is your current relationship status? Your girl is now officially married as of December of this past year. So a couple months ago was when we had our wedding. That I'll get into that. That is a whole nother shebang in itself. The next question is, what are some goals or plans for this year? I definitely plan on going back to school, finishing up school this year, working on myself, going back to the gym. Your girl trying to get them gains to be thick this summer. Just really mainly like working on myself, working on, my marriage with my husband, and, just kind of getting ourselves together, basically. We got a lot of plans that we have in the works. I'm not going to put too much out there because, it's best to move in silence. Sometimes you never know who's plotting on you. But we definitely do have a lot set in stone to happen this year for us. The next question is, where are you stationed now? I am stationed in San Diego, California. And I hate it here. I know a lot of people love San Diego. A lot of people, sorry, I also have my laptop over here and like somebody was calling. Sorry, y'all. But I know a lot of people love San Diego and want to come here, live here. Me personally, I am ready to go. I'm ready to get out of San Diego. I hate it here. Everything is so expensive. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. And then people be hyping up the weather here. I have yet to see great weather. I have yet to see it. I'm still waiting. I will say the views out here, though, like landscape views, gorgeous. 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 Like driving, you're driving beside like mountains and hills and all types of stuff. Gorgeous. Outside of that, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm over it. Completely over it. Um, the next question is, how does it feel being a wife versus a girlfriend? Um, I don't really know how to answer this question because I feel like I don't want to say it's the same because it's really not. Like now, I know a lot of girlfriend and boyfriends live together or whatever, but I was not living with my boyfriend before we got married. So being a wife, I guess just carrying that title, it feels, I wouldn't say it feels like it puts so much responsibility on me, but it just reminds me that, I'm not only thinking of myself. Like, yes, I still do, take my self care days and make sure that I'm good. If I'm not good, how can I take care of somebody else? But it just reminds me that, I have a whole nother person to be responsible for, like to take care of, make sure he's good, make sure he's taken care of, he eats, all that stuff. Um, and then, when we have kids, same thing. But it just kind of puts me in a different mind frame than, a girlfriend. Because especially nowadays, how people are so wishy-washy with relationships. I feel like the title of me being a wife just hold it. I don't know. It holds a different sentiment to me, and I don't know if everybody feels like that. Everybody doesn't have to feel like that, but just for me, like it holds a different weight for me. So I guess that's the best way that I can answer that question. Are you still in the honeymoon phase? No, no. All that lovey-dovey, kiss stuff. I mean, we still do that stuff, but oh, he get on my nerves. I love him to death, but I be calling his mom like, "Can I return him to you? How even pay for shipping?" Like, but nah, for real, that's my best friend. Like, he really is my best friend. But the honeymoon phase is definitely like long gone. Like now, reality set in. We're really married. We are living together, starting our lives together. Somewhere down the line, gonna have kids and all that. Like that honeymoon phase is over. And it's not a bad thing that it's over. Um, but now we just kind of really get to move on to like the real stuff, the real nitty gritty, like real life married people stuff. Because people be thinking, being married, oh, I love you. It's not always like that. It's not. Y'all gonna argue, y'all gonna fuss, y'all gonna disagree. Y'all are, I wouldn't say hate each other, but borderline hate each other sometimes. And, that's all a part of being married. Um, but yeah, honeymoon phase, done. Um, describe how you felt walking down the aisle. Oh, my feet hurt so bad. I know people say they'd be nervous and all that. I was not nervous at all. The only thing I was worried about was falling because my family and my friends, clowns. If I would have fell, it would have been, the whole wedding would have been over. Pretty much. The whole wedding would have been over. The way they would have clowned, it would have been over. But that was the only thing I was worried about going down the aisle. And my feet was hurting so bad because I had been ripping and running that whole week. But that was really it. I wasn't nervous. Like I didn't have, the butterflies or whatever. I had to avoid looking up walking down the aisle because I'm watching my feet to make sure I don't trip. And then my cousins are in my bridal party. And if y'all know us together, all of us, it's a comedy show. It's a comedy show. We cannot be serious. So I had to avoid looking at them at all costs because had I looked at any one of them, I would have busted out laughing. So that's pretty much it. I don't have the magical, oh, I felt so nervous, butterflies. No, I was hoping not to fall. That's really what I was praying walking down the aisle. Lord, please don't let me fall. Please do not let me fall. Please. That's all I ask. Lord, if I don't ask for nothing else, please just don't let me fall. That was all I was saying walking down the aisle. The next question is, what is the last online purchase you made? Oh Lord, what did I just buy? I literally just bought something this morning. Oh, the last online purchase I made, the little, because you know how like iPhones now have the C USB, whatever it's called. I had to buy the little thing to plug that. The regular USB port, I had to buy it to plug the C port into that because I don't have. Yeah, I'm just trying to make my life easier, and I bought the camera covers for my laptop because I'd just be feeling like the government be watching. So I wanted to cover that up. But that was the last online purchase I made, and I literally did that this morning at like 7 in the morning. They should be here sometime today if Amazon do their job right. Um, Things you're doing different this year. One thing I am doing different this year is, you know, how I react to people, how I deal with people. Um, Pretty much like my attitude and mindset in general. Um, I am currently working on, whenever people get me upset or say something out the way to me or um, basically try me in so much of a sense, how I respond to them and react to them. I am trying so much not to let them, get the satisfaction of seeing me get out of character. It's something that I've been working on with myself for a long time, but I'm just now starting to see like the differences, especially at work. Very proud of myself because, whew, but yeah, that's something really major, especially for me. Like if you know me personally, that's something really major for me. Just like working on myself in that sense, and um, things I'm doing differently this year. Um, I've always been kind of like a private person with my personal life. Um, but sometimes with like friends and stuff, you do let stuff slip or you do tell them stuff. I do want to kind of stop that. Not that, I don't trust my friends or anything like that, but I've learned, even though they're your friends and they have wholehearted, good intentions for you, sometimes talking about stuff out loud can stop their blessings. Believe it or not, sometimes you really just have to keep stuff to yourself and completely move in silence until you're done. And then, you can go and brag about it or whatever have you. But that's another thing that I'm trying to do different this year. Um, how did you plan a wedding during COVID and quarantine? Baby, let me tell y'all, if we ever go into another like major pandemic. I know we're still currently in a pandemic, but if we ever go into like another major pandemic and y'all are planning on getting married, just go to the courthouse. Do not plan no big wedding. 0 stars. Would not recommend at all. I was so stressed, y'all. Like everything just became 10 times more difficult because I know planning a wedding is like hard, especially since I was pretty much planning it like by myself, like aside from like my mom helping out here and there. But my husband was on deployment, and for how long was he on deployment for? For 9 months out of the whole planning process, he was on deployment. So I was pretty much by myself, aside from like my mom helping out, his mom helping out, and my cousin who was my maid of honor, you know, chipping in to help, and my best friend coming with me to go and like view places and help me out here and there. But aside from that, like I didn't have a wedding planner, so it was me trying to figure out, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this, I need to do that, and it was so hard, y'all. COVID just made everything so much more difficult. There was so many restrictions on a lot of places, which is to be expected, in a pandemic. Um, you're not going to have all of the freedom that you would if we weren't in a pandemic. But a lot of stores were closed. Then the military had us on this travel restriction. So um, at the command that I was at, I really couldn't, go too many places or do too many things. Everything was pretty much looking online, which, planning a wedding, you kind of do have to like go in person and look at all this stuff and make sure, it looks like the pictures online. Um, but it was just so stressful. And then in the middle of planning the wedding, I ended up moving to California, having to do a whole cross country move to California, and my wedding was in Florida. So I just would not recommend anyone plan a wedding during a pandemic. I'm halfway about to say don't plan a wedding. Like, I'll hire somebody to do it. But yeah, it's a no for me. How is it balancing military life and marriage? Right now it's not too hard. Um, Before we were co-located, yes. So for my non-military people, being co-located means that you are stationed with your spouse. Um, but right now, because we're in the same place, we're both in San Diego, California. We live together. It's hard, but it's not as hard as it was when I was in Florida and he was out here in Cali. But we try to make as much time sorry, time for each other as possible, like outside of work and duty and all that extra stuff. We try to make as much time as possible when we can. um, we have our little date nights, or just spend time together, even if it's just watching TV or just laying here and I'm reading a book and he's playing the game, but we're in each other's space. It's the small stuff that counts for us. So it's not as bad as it seems. While he was on deployment, though, it was rough. It was rough, and then it didn't help that I was planning a wedding as well. So, um, but the balance now fairly easy. I would say fairly easy. Um, Things you've learned about yourself through quarantine and COVID. One thing I learned about myself, I don't like being forced to stay in the house. For those that know me, I love being in the house, which you would think would make quarantine and stuff, easy peasy for me. I don't like being forced to stay in the house. Like, I don't have another, option but to stay here. I don't like that. Usually when I'm in the house, I have the leisure. If I want to leave the house, I can, maybe to go to Walmart or to go to Ross, because y'all know a girl love Ross, or just to even go and like walk outside. I have that leeway if I want to stay home. But during quarantine, when they tell you you can't go nowhere and you just stuck in the house looking at the four walls, it was terrible, and I could not stand it. So I learned that about myself, which was so weird to me. um Something else I learned about myself during COVID is I actually enjoy being by myself. Like, having my friends over every once in a while was cool, but just the comfort and peace of being by myself, like just chilling, by myself, not having to worry about nobody else, not having to, accommodate anybody else. It was great. Now I'm married and I have my husband here, which is cool too, because we kind of balance each other out. So it's really not terrible. And he kind of like, when I need my alone time, he gives me that, and vice versa. But that was one of the major things I learned about myself. Like, I love the solitude of being by myself, like just being in my own company. Um, but yeah. Next question is, are you the only person in your family that can sing? No, my grandmother can sing. She doesn't sing very much anymore, but that's where I got it from. Everybody else though, mm-mm, no. Mm-mm. And my mother, I love her to death. That's one thing she gonna do is sing, even though she can't. But it's me and my grandmother. That's it. We the only ones that can sing. That is it. Um, the next question is, have you ever wanted to take singing seriously? When I was younger, yes. When I was like I don't know, maybe in my like early teens, 13, 14, 15. Yes. Now as an adult and I see what celebrity life is like, and I know a lot of people like, oh, it'll be different for you, but there's really like no privacy for real. Like, and even Beyonce, like her life is so private, but still there. Fairly certain like there's certain things that are out there that she would prefer not to be out there, and you really just don't have any control over that. And I like my privacy. I like being able to go wherever, whenever, and not have paparazzi trailing after me. Um, and I kind of like the leisure of like singing just for fun, whenever I want to, like in the shower or whatever. Even like going back to church and singing in church is something that I would love to do. But singing professionally, nah, it's not a dream for me anymore. Um, just how things are with celebrities, it's not for me. Have you ever thought about getting have you ever thought about getting help for your Amazon addiction? I do not have an Amazon addiction. Let's start there. Amazon needs to sponsor me. How much money I be spending with them? They need to sponsor me. That's the real question, is why hasn't Amazon sponsored me yet? That's the question you should be asking. But I don't have an Amazon addiction. So no, I have not thought about getting help because there's nothing to get help for. Um, the next question is, what are your plans after the Navy? Once I get out, I definitely plan on finishing school. I don't know why my nose is running like this, y'all, because it's not even cold in here, which is weird. Um, but when I get out the Navy, I definitely plan on continuing school. And I will be working. Your girl will not be out here just not doing nothing. I will be working and I will be going to school. That are my major plans after the Navy for right now. Wherever that leads is wherever that leads. If you could be an animal, which would you be? I told you my friends threw some random questions in here trying to be funny. This is another one of them. If you could be an animal, which would you be? I would probably be a lion because I love lions. They are, you know, beautiful animals. They're natural born leaders, strong, just amazing. I don't even know how to put it into words. They're just amazing animals. Like just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I don't think there's any other animal out that, could top them. But Alicia, I answered your question. But yeah, I would definitely be a lion. Do you ever wish you lived in Jamaica or would you live there? Again, when I was little, I definitely wanted to live in Jamaica. I thought it was like this great place because all of my family is from there. I was born here, unfortunately, but my entire family is from Jamaica, and I wanted to live there so bad when I was little. And I mean, I still would probably go there and live for a little bit, but it wouldn't be like a permanent thing. Um, but I did want to live in Jamaica at one point. How often do you visit Jamaica? I have not visited Jamaica since, when was the last time I went? I think it was 2013. I'm fairly certain it was 2013. And I went for my great grandma's funeral, and I don't think I've been back to Jamaica since, especially since I ended up joining the military the year after that. But I would love to go back and visit Jamaica very soon. Um, it's a very beautiful country. If you have not been, I definitely recommend you going. Um, there's a lot to do, a lot to see, and a lot to experience. So Next question is, would you want YouTube or TikTok to be your full-time job? If I had to choose it between the two, I would say YouTube. Um, TikTok videos just be too short for me, and I'm a talker, so um, I feel like YouTube would best fit for me if I was to make it like a full-time career. Um, the next question is, how is your marriage after the wedding versus before? Oh, so my husband and I, we did get married prior to us having the wedding. That was due to COVID. We had to, go through the courthouse and everything. Plus, he was going on deployment. Um, but marriage after the wedding versus before, it's pretty much the same. Like, if you've been around us before the wedding, we're too goofy people. So we do have our little, disagreements here and there, but for the most part, 9 times out of 10, it's like a clown show in here. Like just me and him going back and forth tit for tat, just clowning. And it's great. It's the same as it was before. I mean, before, we did have the honeymoon phase, like the question before asked, but now it's kind of just like regulated into like just me and him in here clowning, or we're just in here chilling. Like I said, he'll be on the game. I'll be in here reading a book or like on my laptop or something. More than likely online shopping, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, it's kind of the same to me at least. I don't know. One of these videos, I'll have him in, and then y'all can ask him. Okay, almost done, y'all. The next question is, where is your dream honeymoon spot? I would love, love, love to go to Dubai for my honeymoon. That is like the dream spot that I would love to go to. And just spend time with him out there. It's so beautiful out there. From the pictures that I've seen and like people that I know that have actually gone and they, come and tell me, that's like on my bucket list, definitely to go to Dubai. We haven't had our honeymoon yet, so it could still happen. We'll see. What is one thing about your wedding you regret? The biggest thing about my wedding I regret is one, actually, there's two. One, I should have had my wedding in Jacksonville like I had originally planned. Um, I switched it to Ocala, Florida for reasons, but I really should have kept it in Jacksonville. It would have just made things a lot easier had I kept it in Jacksonville, even with me, moving to California. It would have made a lot of things way easier. The second thing was my I love my family to death, but they just had, not even just they, but had too much say in how our wedding should have went. Like um how it went, it wasn't exactly, what he and I wanted. It still turned out beautiful. I enjoyed it, but there was a lot of things that could have been and should have been done differently. But it is what it is, and we're happy with the outcome of the wedding overall. But the amount of stress that came with just planning this wedding was, I don't even know how to put it in words. Like the entire first week, not even first week, the entire week leading up to our wedding was so stressful. Like there was just so much going on, so much unnecessary drama, and a lot of things could have been avoided. But overall, like I said, we had a really good time. We enjoyed the wedding. It came out beautiful. I was able to laugh, dance, have some good food, and overall, I'm happy with how the wedding came out. The next question is Next question is, when is the baby coming? Because after you get a puppy, you're preparing for a child. Listen, my husband and I got a dog after the wedding. We got this cute little puppy. I call him a menace to society because he is a little tyrant. Like, oh my goodness, this dog is so bad. But he's getting better as we're like slowly starting to train him. But when we first got him, I was over it. So over it. But the baby part, I don't know how to answer that because can we enjoy our marriage first? Dang, go on a little vacation without having to find a babysitter, not have to worry about buying Pampers and formula. So that stuff is expensive and we poor. I'm just kidding, we're not poor. But can we enjoy our marriage first? Like, dang, y'all be trying to rush the whole baby thing. Like, relax. It's coming, just not as soon as you want it to. Just relax. Um, what is the most stressful part about living together so far? Um, the most stressful part about living together, I would have to say, and I'm fairly certain a lot of people can attest for this, the way we clean is so different. So like his version of clean is not my version of clean. Not saying that it's not clean, but the way we do things is so different. And like sometimes I'll sit here and watch him, and it'll just irk me to the point where I just have to get up and I'm like, I just wait till he's done and I'll go redo it. Um, but he does clean. That's one thing I love about him. He does clean, and he's not like a dirty person. But watching him clean gives me anxiety. Um, Another stressful thing about living together is once you live with someone, you kind of stuck with that person. So we'll have our disagreements. There's a lot of things that we don't, agree on. We're raised very differently. Like I'm Jamaican and he's American. So like there's a lot of things that I do, like how I was raised and that just it from my upbringing I still do to this day, and there's a lot of things that he does not do. So it's kind of just like sometimes we'll what's the word I'm looking for? We'll butt heads on certain subjects or whatever, which will cause little disagreements, which is normal in a marriage. But we come back and sit down and talk about it, and we always come to some type of resolution. But that's one of the biggest things. Like once you live with someone, you really kind of like see their habits and all that. You really get to really see that person, like how they are for real, for real. And it's really an eye opener, and it really like opens yourself up to be more understanding and to kind of go with change and moving towards, okay, well, you do this and I do this, so how about we come together and we can do this, just to kind of curb your compromising skills. That's the term I was looking for. Yeah, it helps you to learn how to compromise better. But that, I would say, those are some of the most stressful things about living together. Where to next for the Smith family, or are y'all staying in Cali? We are not staying in California. Absolutely not. I'm ready to go. I don't really know where we're going next after this. Um, Hopefully overseas. Um, if not, somewhere back on the East Coast because I hate it over here on the West Coast. But we're definitely not staying in California. But as of right now, I don't know where we're going after here. What has been your biggest, proudest moment since you've been in Cali? This wasn't exactly in California. This was back in Florida at my last command. One of the junior sailors that I trained, after I transferred, she made it to the next rank, and I was only there with her for maybe a couple weeks training her before I left. And she said that I was one of her mentors and that I was one of the ones that helped her to make Frank. And that just really warmed my heart that even though, I only spent such a short amount of time with her and I'm not there anymore, that she still considered that, I made a major impact on her. And that really warmed my heart. And even my other, you know, junior sailor that I trained really from like pretty much the time that I got there, because she got there right after I did, to her putting on third and, me getting to pin her. Even now that I'm in California, she'll still call me and be like, man, I miss you. Um, and keep me updated on what's been going on. And, just ask me for help, ask me for pointers, ask me for advice. And that's really like a big blessing to me to know that I made an impact on them, and that they feel so comfortable in knowing that they can come and talk to me even though I am halfway across, not even halfway, all the way across the country. um that they'll still consider me to be such a big mark on their life. Not exactly the proudest moment in something that happened in Cali, but it's been like that since I've been here, so it counts. Um, what new hobbies or interests have you picked up since you came to Cali? Um, None. None. I haven't really been able to pick up on anything with planning the wedding from here, to having to fly back, have the wedding, come back, and then we ended up moving. I haven't really had the time for myself, like honestly, to even find any new hobbies or interests. But this year, now that I don't have to worry about the wedding anymore, definitely a goal to kind of find something to do while I'm stuck out here in California. Um, the next question is: you planning on staying in and becoming the power couple in the Navy or no? No, the girl's definitely getting out. Mm-mm, I'm not staying in the Navy. Um, I'm tired. Honestly, the Navy has been good to me all these years that I've been in, but your girl is tired, and I'm ready for something different. Honestly, um, to kind of really start working in like the career field that I really want to work in without the restrictions of the military. So yeah, I'll be getting out. I'll be getting out. Have I tried any new restaurants here that have been amazing? Yes, one of my friends took me to this place called Crushed. Um, Definitely recommend for anybody that comes out here. It's so good. And then there's this restaurant. It's a Mexican restaurant. I think it's called Senor Pancho's. Um, their surf and turf burritos, baby, so good, so good. And there's another spot here that I go to all the time. It's called Rubio's. I really only go there for their salad and their shrimp burritos, but those are really good too. I haven't really gone to any other like major restaurants out here that like aren't anywhere else. Like I've been to Sugar Factory and oh Lord, what's that place called? The Brazilian steakhouse, Fogo de Chao. I've been there, but they have those almost everywhere. So, and nothing too special about them either. So, um, what did you do for New Year's? I didn't do anything special for New Year's. My husband and I were in the house um, after coming back here. After the wedding, it just we didn't do anything. We was in the house together, chilling for New Year's. That was it. Nothing special at all. Um, what was the last major item you bought? Um, what was the last? Hmm, I don't think I bought anything like huge in a while. I guess I would say my car last year, because I did get a new car. But that's about it. I haven't really bought anything else like big in a really, really long time, which I'm proud of now that I think about it. Yeah, the last thing that I got major that I would consider is my car, and I got that March, well, ending of February, early March of last year. Um, but I haven't gotten anything else since then. Maybe I need to look for something. Hmm, let's see. Um, okay, the last question is, which do you prefer, Cali or Florida, and why? People are gonna think I'm biased for this because I am from Florida, and everybody knows I'm a Florida girl at heart. However, definitely Florida, and not being biased. The reason why I say Florida is financially, Florida is just way better. Like, trust me, Florida is expensive in itself. It has its areas where the prices are just like, but California is on a whole nother level. Like, gas out here in Cali, $5.20 a gallon, and that's not even the highest that it can get. They charge for bags here, which I think is just ghetto. The rent prices here are don't even get me started. A livable studio apartment out here will probably run you $2,000 to $2,100 for a studio. That's a box where literally the kitchen, bathroom, and bedroom are all in the same area. $2,100? Are y'all serious? Come on now. Like, it's just it's ridiculous. The driving here. Now, when I say this, because I know Florida people can't drive, Cali is on a whole nother level. Like, a whole nother level. The driving out here is atrocious. Like, the people here cannot drive. I have seen some of the most reckless things done on the highway here. Like, I'm gonna have to start like recording this stuff and putting together like a video to show y'all, like, because it's sometimes it's stuff that I can't even put into words. Like, it's just crazy. And then the way the highways are out here is absolutely ridiculous too, because you know how like you'll merge off of one highway onto another, and everywhere else you at least have a lane to continue before you merge over. No, not in Cali. You merge off of one highway and you're immediately thrown into a lane with oncoming traffic. And I mean, these people are speeding, not even concerned that there is a lane that merges into them and there's going to be a car coming probably directly in front of them. And that's all the highways, every single one of them. And I be so stressed out when I'm driving. Like, I be so stressed and tense just driving, because I'm like, I am legitimately scared right now because these people cannot drive. The tax out here in Cali is ridiculous. I don't know. I don't even want to say it's because I dislike Cali, where I'm finding so many faults, but I feel like all of these faults are the reason why I dislike California. And if I had to choose between the two, it's definitely going to be Florida every time. But that was the last question. If y'all have any more questions, like I said, please put them down in the comment section below, or you can hit me up on one of my social media forums, and I'll definitely respond back to you. Um, that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think of any other questions like for myself that I might have that I could answer for you guys, but I don't have anything. So that's the video, y'all. It's been great catching up with y'all. I definitely will be putting out another video very, very soon. I will not have y'all waiting again this long ever. But that's it. Your girl is out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the next video.